What's up, everybody? It's Crowbar, and today Crowbar is ready to play a little bit of GTA Vice City. So this is going to be another Platinum Pop type thing, because I kind of picked this up on a whim during the downtime of my computer. It's something that I had played in the past, but I've never actually finished, and we're about to do that today. I've already done some rather annoying, well, the only really annoying trophy on a separate load. This particular this save file is only 2 robbed stores away from tripping 100%, which will pop the rob all the stores trophy, the 100% trophy, and the platinum as well. So I figured while I did that, I'd talk about the game a little bit as well. I apologize if this is a bit of a quiet video. All the music in this game, which is spectacular, is crazy licensed. So I can't turn on the radio station, even though this is probably the best radio that GTA has ever made. 4 had some decent stuff here and there, but from 4 and 5 onward, they have so many stations that I feel like each station has fewer songs to play, and they get kind of samey really quick. Whereas I think there's only 1 radio station on this entire game that I don't really listen to, which is the Wild Style one. But yeah, some of the songs in this soundtrack are like tough to find even on YouTube in some cases, and they're really good. It's a beautiful like slice of the 80s kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, I think this is the first store that I have not robbed yet. Let me actually, I have a list of 4. Yeah, so I've robbed 13. I know 4 specific stores that I don't remember going to. Oh, come on. Get out of here, cop. I need to rob this place. Really? Are you gonna leave? Shit. Okay, maybe if I go outside, he'll leave. But yeah, so I've obviously robbed 2 of the 4 that I have written down. I just don't remember which 2, so we're just gonna kind of drive around and hit them both while we have a little bit of a chat about the game. So I guess for those of you who don't know, you follow Tommy Vercetti in this one. This apparently, I just looked it up, is like the 2nd entry in the old like GTA 3 timeline. Vice City Stores is the only thing that comes before this game. And yeah, Tommy is probably, prior to GTA 5, Tommy is probably my favorite protagonist. I really loved if you considered like the 3 protagonists of GTA 5 to be 1 protagonist, he'd be awesome. But like Michael and Franklin's like nuance and like dealing with their own like, get out of the fucking store, cop, god damn it, dealing with their own shit as the game went through. I liked them a lot. I thought they were really cool characters. Trevor is just fun. He may not be the deepest character, but he's fun. I'm just gonna have to kill the fucking cop, aren't I? But Tommy, on the other hand, I don't think that happens in this game. Because I robbed like all the stores in the mall at one time. But in any case, going back and playing 3 after having experienced 4 gave me a much greater appreciation for Tommy, because... Oh yeah, Vice City, not 3, sorry. Because Nico and Tommy are actually very similar in certain aspects. They're both career criminals, basically. But whereas Nico spends almost the entire game bitching about it and whining and, yeah, trying to justify all the... I'm drive around the block, see if it despawns the cop. Trying to justify everything he does, and, oh, it's not my fault, it's just the way that I am, and this is the only thing I know how to do. And granted, Nico did get fucked a couple of ways. Pretty hardcore. He has an opportunity multiple times to let it go, and he just doesn't, because he is a criminal. It's part of who he is. Tommy never has that. Tommy knows he is a bad person. He knows that he does bad things, and he loves doing it. And there's something about like a bad guy who knows he's bad and doesn't care that's kind of endearing. You can still... Oh, cool, he's gone. You can still kind of identify with the shit he's going through. He also gets screwed over by people he trusts multiple times. Let's see. Did he drop the cash? Yes, he did. Awesome. So, real quick, let's check the stats. Nope, apparently I already hit this one. Okay, so let's go to the jewelry store. I actually didn't even take the money. What the fuck? I think there's a pants barrier over here. I can go lose these guys. I don't want to lose my suit. So yeah, anyway, Tommy's just, it was just kind of refreshing to be like, oh yeah, like I'm a bad guy, and I don't care. And I'm gonna kill or maim or scare literally everyone and everything that gets in my fucking way. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. The port for the PS4 is pretty faithful. Thankfully, they kept some of the wackiness intact in that all the old PS2 cheat codes still work. And with the exception of one specific trophy and a few specific codes, they don't get in your way of unlocking anything either. You still have to progress the story to a certain degree in order to get the maxed out 1 level trophy. But beyond that, the only trophy that gets affected by cheat codes is the, I guess it's technically 2. It's like the Butcher, and I think the other one's called Take the Cannoli. And they are both for getting your crime rating up to 10,000 and 1,000,000 respectively. And any of the cheats that spawn vehicles, so specifically the Rhino tank, which most people spawn to just fuck around with, they give you negative crime rating points. So that's a little annoying. And it's also kind of preferable to get those 2 trophies out of the way as quickly as possible. There's a few exploits that you can follow in order to do them. They're probably the least fun thing about this redo. I never even knew there was a Godfather rank back in the PS2 days, because unlocking it is absolutely absurd. The way you can kind of exploit it this time around involves like bumping your accuracy up into like the 200,000s, because you get like 5 criminal points per point of accuracy. So yeah, it was tedious, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. It annoyed me because I didn't know about the exploit until I had already basically finished the game, and by that point I had already fired so many bullets that the exploit would have taken probably days of like a rubber banded controller shooting bullets at a dead car. So let's see, this is the jewelry store that I specifically left because I remembered where it was. Grab the money. Although, yeah, sweet. Okay, so that was one of the ones we needed. Get out of there. Okay, great. There we go. Got stuck. And I'm using the Comet to do this just partially because the Comet's my favorite car. It's as fast as a sports car, but it can take a few hits. And that open top lets you just jump in when there are cops around, and it's a little less common that you'll get busted. It's also the car I use to beat all of the street races, so keep that in mind if you're having trouble with those trophies. But yeah, anyway, what the fuck was I even saying? No, it's already got past that part. Oh, right, beyond those 2 trophies, the rest of the game, it just takes a little bit of patience. You can, basically all the other trophies will get unlocked in the pursuit of the 100% trophy. So it's really not that difficult. I think the only 2 that aren't are, or no, 3. There's shooting a seagull, which is a little tedious, because first of all you have to figure out that those tiny little black squiggles that are flying around like crazy are seagulls. I was looking for like an actual seagull on the ground somewhere to shoot. But yeah, shooting a seagull, doing a 30-second wheelie, which is a little difficult, takes a little bit of practice, but you can kind of jip it a little bit with a Sanchez motorcycle. And I think the 100 headshots are also not really included in that challenge. But beyond that, everything else that you need to do, you'll get as you work towards 100%. Yeah, so my girlfriend got it probably just by, like, shooting in the air. I'm gonna have to lose these fuckers, god damn it. That's okay. Both of the places I need to rob, or possible places, one of these two has to be it, is that hardware store I just passed, and the donut store that's on the corner there. I think I've already robbed the donut place. But we'll lose the cops real fast before we go bother doing that. But yeah, anyway, it's been a lot of fun to kind of delve back into this. I'm going to try to get this video up as quickly as possible because at the moment, the GTA games are like half off. So I think you can get Vice City specifically, I think is like $8. And I think you can buy the Vice City, San Andreas, and 3 collection for 15, I want to say, something like that, which is a pretty decent deal. I didn't bother to get it because I don't particularly like San Andreas. It's just so big and there's so little to do in it that it never really wowed me. After you get, you know, a bright orange afro and make yourself fat for the first time, it kind of loses its appeal. So let's see if this is the last one. Yeah, alright. So there's put them up. And then that should also pop done it all. And Kingpin. Alright. That, I think, is my 65th platinum. Not positive. I'll have to check when it's all said and done. So we're going to duck in here again to lose the cops. And then we'll go and get our snazzy new shirt for 100% completion. Let me think. What else? Was there anything else that was like really annoying? The fire truck missions are still a pain in the butt, but you just kind of have to be patient. Awesome, sweetie. It looks cool. Yeah, the beads just kind of made it look clunky. Oh god, what else was there? The hidden packages are not hard to find, especially considering how old this game is. There's plethora of guides for all of them, all of the stunt jumps. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been a bit of a blast and a kind of a nice kind of leisure game to play, which is really kind of fucking with my recollection of the game because I remember this game being so hard.
It's so hard.
It's, yeah, I mean, it has kind of the PS2 era difficulty where it's just like, oh, that wasn't fair, what the fuck. But the AI for the cops is pretty dumb in this one. Like, I think 1 star, there's 6 stars for one thing as opposed to the 5 of our modern day GTAs, but like the first star, the only thing that comes after you is ground, like beat cops, and then like 2 stars and up you've got like cop cars will go after you, and then they'll go after you slightly more aggressively at 3. I think 4 starts spawning SWAT vans, 5 spawns helicopters, and then 6 brings out the tanks. But again, they're all kind of comically aggressive, which occasionally will totally bone you, but most of the time they just run themselves off the goddamn road.
Or other people, innocent civilians.
Yeah, they can't make turns very well, all sorts of just wacky shit. It was also... Oh, whoa, what the fuck? Oh, right! I forgot about that.
What?
So this is another bonus for 100% completion. You can hire these 2 bodyguards for $2 grand each, and they'll follow you around, and they'll get in your cars with you and shoot... Oh, fuck, there's 3 of them, actually.
You've also got 200 and 200 now.
I do. That's right. Through doing the Pizza Boy and Vigilante missions, you'll bump your health and body armor up to 150 each, and then finishing the game also gets you... what do you call it? There you are. Also gets you the bump up to 200. We also get this awesome shirt right here, which is a nice little riff off of the Frankie Says Relax t-shirts. I completed Vice City and all I got with this lousy t-shirt.
That's pretty awesome.
It also awards you infinite ammo. So if you haven't managed to pull off like the maximum 1 in level or something like that yet, which you can easily do with a tank or just some patience and farming rocket launcher ammo, it becomes laughable at this point because the rocket launcher has no respawn time. You can fire it as fast as you can pull the trigger. So yeah, just hole yourself up in someplace high where the cops can't physically arrest you and go to town, and you'll get that in no time. I love this shirt. It's so fucking funny. So yeah, anyway, this wasn't really meant to be like a hypercritical review. Obviously, this game has come and gone before and now is back again with its little HD polish, and yeah, so I think basically everything critically that needs to be said about it has already been said. So like I said, if you want to get it, you're after that platinum, make sure you look up a guide for the trophy's called Take the Cannoli, and just knock that out right at the beginning, because the bonuses that you'll unlock getting that trophy will make the rest of the game easier as well. And once you've hit that ranking, you don't have to maintain it. So once the trophy pops, it's all good. May you? Yeah, go for it.
Even if you're not after the platinum, I still recommend getting this game, especially if you remember it like I do from back in 2001 when it came out. You know, I remember the commercials. I remember, you know, the M rating and all of the
controversy,
all the controversy involved in it, and do video games make people violent, and that's still an ongoing thing. But you know,
it's kind of laughable to look at it now.
It's laughable to look at the game. It's also like, I mean, you look at the game now, and you can see that it's not beautiful, and it's got a lot of problems. It's very chunky. It is very much a early PS2 game, but there's something nostalgically beautiful about it. Like, if you just kind of stop while you're looking at it, while you're playing it, and think about the fact that when it came out, it was mind-blowing. Like, you were just like, holy shit, look at these graphics, it's unbelievable. Even kind of just, if you can get yourself back to that mindset, it's kind of a beautiful time. If you didn't play it when it came out, I still recommend getting it, because it is a piece of video game history. And it's kind of nice to see. I think the most polished, I think it's probably the most polished of the PS2, including even San Andreas, which came later, but of the PS2 era Grand Theft Autos, it's probably the most polished one, and it's a nice way to kind of see where it came from. I mean, 5 is amazing, everyone knows that, everyone who played it, it's a lot of fun, but so many things in 5 bounced off of this game.
Yeah.
And it has an enjoyable protagonist for all of his flaws, it has a lot of enjoyable side characters. The plot isn't super involved, but it is interesting. And
it's got betrayals and such.
Still just as fun once you get used to the controls. It is still just as fun to get into a car, cruise around, listen to the soundtrack, which, like he said, is unbelievable.
I cannot overhype that soundtrack.
Such a great soundtrack. I mean, just any and every 80s classic, and some more obscure 80s music that's still just solid as hell. And you just cruise around, even if you cruise around listening to K-Chat, which is the talk radio station, that is comedy.
The talk shows are always
It's comedy
funny.
gold, and you know, and I mean, there's characters that get referenced in this game that you will recognize from GTA 5.
Really?
Yeah, Laszlo.
Oh yeah.
And the band.
Oh yeah, Love Fist is in this one as well.
You know, and it's just
yeah. You know what? I think that proves it. Actually, I was reading through the chronology of this of the series, just because we had some stuff backwards, and we weren't, for some reason we thought that like this game was like actually chronologically came post 3, and it doesn't. It's actually a prequel to 3. But yeah, like I would say Vice City is probably the game that cemented Grand Theft Auto. Like 3 was groundbreaking in and of itself. Vice City hit upon the magic of the luck of older games, or if you stylized your graphics, they remain enjoyable. Like, I honestly think that Vice City looks better than GTA 4, because they went for realism in 4, and now it just looks like, going back, it's not as pretty as you thought it was. Now that
shades of brown.
Yeah, now that we've seen 5 with all its color and fun again, it's just kind of dreary and muddy looking. But Vice City is full of color and fun and wackiness and insane characters. I would easily say it's probably the best of the old ones, and I'd say again, I don't think any game has surpassed it since 5. San Andreas came close, but San Andreas was definitely like their guinea pig of making the world bigger. And while it did do some very cool stuff, it fell a little flat. And I just don't think it holds up as well.
It is the first one to introduce multiplayer, though.
It is.
It's a weird multiplayer, but it is there. It's $15 normally. That's worth it.
Absolutely.
For the game.
Absolutely.
At the moment, it's on sale for I think $8, and it's definitely worth picking up.
No, big asterisks on that. It's on sale at the time of me recording this. I'm gonna try to get this video up today.
23rd.
Yeah. But if I don't, it may not be on sale anymore.
So if it is on sale, buy it. If you have $8, don't go to McDonald's and buy this game instead. You will enjoy it much more than the Big Mac. And it's just worth having in your library. It's worth replaying. It's worth just fucking around, and it's worth remembering how awesome video games were and still are, and that it doesn't have to look beautiful or be perfect. I mean, it's a really glitchy game. It always was.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know what? The glitch is part of its inherent charm.
Some of those glitches are incredibly useful for platting it.
And there's definitely something nostalgic. Like, if you played the game before, you'll look upon it a lot more favorably, because you'll have
that's a blue one.
A lot
I have
of
the pink one.
Nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's nostalgia less. It's I love this game completely. It is
but
childhood staple. But even if you didn't,
I still think it's good without it.
Still fun. Still a good time. Still worth playing.
So yeah.
So thank you for that.
Final little bits. Again, the game is good. Knock out, get the cannoli, take the cannoli as fast as you can, and you won't be anywhere near as frustrated with it as I was. I had to make a new profile and find a bunch of the hidden packages twice, and it was just annoying. It wasn't hard. I think all in all, it took me about 36 hours to plat this, and I definitely took my time and just enjoyed it. There was something else I wanted to say specifically, and now I can't remember it. But yeah, in any case, definitely worth your time if you're on the fence about it or anything along those lines. God damn it, it's gonna drive me crazy. What the fuck was I gonna say? So I said it is probably the best of the older games. It still holds up in fun, and like I said, I think in looks, because they went for a nice, bright, and stylized thing. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So we also learned, and this is mild spoiler territory, so I'll go ahead and say spoiler warning here. If you don't want to know anything about the plot, if you haven't played it before, just stop watching the video here and know that the game is worth your time. If you have played the game before, if you finished it, like I said, I never finished this game. It was too hard when I was younger, and I also didn't own it, so I could only ever play it when I was at friends' houses or staying the night over at my older sister's house or something like that. So I assumed, because the game, since Tommy is pretty obviously inspired by Scarface, I thought the game ended with you getting betrayed and the cops coming and, going out in a blaze of glory. That's not true. Tommy Vercetti kills everyone who tries to kill him. And people would do better if they would remember that. You start this game, Tommy has the nickname of, I think, the Hardwood Butcher or something like that. Because he killed, 11 hitmen and came out alive. And, people just forget that he is a goddamn badass. So at the end of this game, you run Vice City. You control it. You're the new Dawn. You've severed your ties with the Forelli family. You're your own crime empire. And that's awesome.
And as far as the timeline goes,
Tommy
you
still entirely possibly alive. He could be quite old at this point. I think in his 60s or 70s. But people have been talking about, like, where could we go from here with 5 being so big and, like, having so much to do. And the idea I've heard the most so far, that I like the idea of the most, is, like, Grand Theft World, basically, where it's, like, you know, get yourself a jet and you can fly around and go to different cities, and you're not necessarily locked in. And that sounds kind of fun. It also sounds incredibly overwhelming, especially if they want to keep the GTA tropes of hidden packages and hidden collectibles. That's going to get really heavy. But if they went that way, or even if they didn't, I think it would be a lot of fun to revisit Vice City. Like,
Even as like a separate mission.
As a separate mission, or as just a city you can go, or even as, like, your starting city. Like, I think it'd be really, really cool to play as, like, Tommy Vercetti's daughter or son or something like that, and, like, be a part of a crime family that's, like, in a solid place, and then, you know, going out and, like, striking out into the world to make your own name. I think that could be really cool, and it would just be really nifty to see Tommy again.
Especially if we saw Tommy, and also be really cool. I'm really quiet. It would also be really cool just to see them redo Vice City. I mean,
yeah,
like, I love the way this
like
game looks.
beautiful Miami.
But if they HD'd this, like, as it is, just didn't change it, just made it look. I mean, changed it a little bit, but, like, made it look basically like it does. But that picture's awesome. It would be so much fun.
Absolutely. So yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out, let me ramble, and that's gonna be Plat Plop. I do that every time. Platinum Pop number 2. Again, I'm not entirely certain I'm gonna keep doing these, and if I do, they'll probably be shorter than a half hour in the future. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys do take the time to kind of dip back into some gaming history and enjoy some Vice City. It was a blast, and I think you'll really definitely have enough fun to get $8 out of it, even 15.
And if they never played any of them, then all 3.
Yeah, if you've never played a GTA game before, start with Vice City. It's phenomenal. So yeah, thanks for your time, guys. It was great to talk to you again. It's been a while since I've gotten to record anything, and I'll probably have already explained that by the time this video goes up, so I'm not going to do it here. But it's good to be back, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.